It's a little song I wrote. You might want to sing it, don't worry. Be happy.
So when you get life's troubles and they like things like not having technology work properly, I don't know, it just seems to be one of those things with Friday Facebook Fix. It's Adair Palmer here, and this is round 2. I am actually trying again this is the second time. I am nearly 15 minutes late trying to get the first Friday Facebook Fix happening on my page. Joe is here with me. That's awesome, from Rebel Web Solutions. And my bro Stephen was here as well for the last one. But I think I gave you so much reverb when you did have voice, when you did have sound or audio, that what you were saying, it was a bit like a Hendrix concert, or but you liked Bob Marley better. So we do a little bit of Rastafarian. Don't worry, be happy, because it is what it is, and that's what you get when you go live. What I'm going to do is, I don't know if I can actually even share it from here, but I might share this one up across to my page, because I've done about 4 or 5 different shares for my Friday Facebook Fix for the pre-scheduled one, and now of course that's a defunct one. That was sort of like a bit of an experimental one, and it's now it's just me and those ones that are in the groups and on the pages. They're probably going, well, what's happened to her? But anyway, that's okay. We're going to keep moving. I did have a live talk show scheduled this time because, and I think part of the problem was because what I was doing was getting myself in, because you can't start a live talk show without someone else in the green room or in the lobby. So I actually put myself in the lobby, which meant that I had all that reverb when I was starting the talk show. So I'm not quite sure. We'll figure it out. And Be Live TV is a wonderful platform, but it's just a matter of getting a bit more savvy around actually what's happening with the technology. However, that's one of those things where we learn and we continue to learn. What I want to share with you today is some information or my thoughts about groups. So if you are a member of a group, or if you are a group owner, let me just say, please share this video. So asking you to share the video. I don't know if you can see the on-screen, the comment. Is that coming up? There we go. That's. Don't know if it's actually coming up on my video. So let's see, on my screen. So please share this video, because I've got some really cool stuff. Now let's see. There we go. It's been a little while since I've actually used the this platform in Q&A, because normally I've been using it in the live or the interview, the live talk show or the live interview, so there's at least another person on with me or a couple of people. So this is I have to reorientate myself to doing the Q&A with no one coming on board. I wanted to have a bit of a rant this morning about groups. So if you're here joining me, could you just let me know if you are a member of a group on Facebook, or if you are a group admin or group owner. So just pop it in the comments and just let me know where you sit with that if you're in groups, because most people who are on Facebook are generally part of some sort of group, or business owners. I always encourage business owners to think about creating their own group to sort of start to get their tribes with them, like engaged with them a bit more, their community a bit more engaged, and you can do it regardless of what you're doing, regardless of what your business is. So there's creative ways of actually getting people involved. Joe's saying yes on both counts. That's awesome. So you've got your own group and you've got, you're a member of groups. So the rant that I was going to, well, I think I will. I wrote a blog about it and I'm still sort of refining it a little bit. But one of the things that I wanted to just share was what I've noticed in being a group owner. There was a couple of things that happened recently that I thought I would share. And I don't normally do rants because I like to believe that things are sunshine, lollipops and roses and unicorns farting rainbows type thing on Facebook. But the reality is where we are on this platform, there is many different personalities and different perspectives as what there are people, which are 1.94 billion people, probably more now, but that many people on Facebook. So you would expect that there'll be a range of, and quite a diverse range of perspectives and things. But I just think that there are some basic things that make for a good or a good group owner and a good group member, and also a poor group owner and a poor group member. So I'm going to look at it from the perspective first of a group owner. The things that happened that made me sort of want to do this rant were, the first thing was I was watching a video of a friend of mine in a group, and they will remain nameless, but protect the innocent or the guilty. This group, there's a girl doing a video and her content was amazing. She was doing an absolutely fabulous job and sharing her wisdom and her thoughts. The only thing was she was actually driving while she was doing it. Now, we know this is illegal in Australia, and I'm sure it is in other countries and other parts of the world, but in Australia it is illegal to do a video or even hold your phone, your mobile device in your hand while you're driving. So what happened, as far as I'm concerned, that was something that she would have to deal with because she was breaking the law, and if she got caught breaking the law, well, then she would have to pay a price, and I didn't really want to see her have an accident because she was distracted by doing a video. So all of that stuff, yes, all comes into it, but I want you to put that aside for the moment, because what happened was people started saying on the video, if you're driving, put the video down now and do a video when you stop, which is fair enough because people are commenting and they're saying, like, we love you. We don't want to see you video yourself being in an accident. And that's fair enough because that's almost instant feedback for people who are, from people who are connected, who are watching the video. I didn't see the video live, but I did see it afterwards, because what happened was people then put out a call for the group owner to say to this person, don't video while you're driving. Now, I think that to me, that's stepping over the line. But what was even more over the line was the group owner publicly chastised this person for doing the video while they were driving. Now, like I said, I don't condone that at all, and I think it is there are better ways to do it, and there's better practices to be had when you're doing videos. However, I actually don't believe that it was the job of the group owner or the job of the group members to call for the group owner to play mum, dad, God, jailer, whatever, judge, jury, executioner, and to make a decision to chastise this particular person in the group. It might have, I just think maybe it would have been more called for, especially as it was a support group, and it just seemed like it was almost like a public hanging. And I just think it didn't look good from the person's perspective that was doing the video, but it also looked even worse from the group owner's perspective. That's from where I sat, because it was really none of her business. to do that publicly. It was really, I think it reflected poorly on her that she would choose to do that in a public forum, and really because I just think it wasn't necessary. So it might be a little bit contentious, but that's my view on it. And I do believe that we aren't parents to people in our groups. We are, we're maybe mentors and coaches and support people, but we are not parents. The other thing was, in a group that I own, a group that I run, I got a message from a girl who was very miffed because somebody had sent her a message and pitched her, because it's a business group. It's called Social Media for Small Biz Owners, and there's about nearly 2,000 people in that group, and they're all business owners, and a lot of them actually don't know how to be business owners on Facebook. So a lot of them are what I call spammy seagulls, and I sort of think, well, it's an educational process, and it's something that if we don't know any better, we won't do any better, but when we know better, we will do better. So I look at it and I try and keep my patience here, because sometimes it is hard, because people do consistently spam in the group. But this particular instance, what I had was one of the girls and it's another girl, it's a bit odd, isn't it? But she'd sent me a message, and she was complaining because someone that was in my group, out of the hundreds of millions of groups that are on Facebook, actually chose to send her a personal message and ask her if she was interested in their business. Now, that was a male who did that, but I don't think the gender it really is an issue at all. So she had sent me a message and said, I could hear the whiny voice, how dare they pitch me because I'm in your group? And I know for a fact she's a member of several other groups. And I actually thought, to me, it was really a bit like dobbing on your older brother or sister for doing something that you didn't like them doing. And what would your mum say? Your mum would say, go sort it out with them. But I was just absolutely astounded that attitude still exists, and they still expected me to go back to that person and say, don't you pitch that person. I know some group owners do have those rules that they say no pitching, no contacting each other outside of the group. But seriously, folks, it's an open forum. Well, even if the groups are closed groups, Facebook is an open platform, and you can contact really whoever you like. It's not for a group owner to tell you who you can or you can't contact, and it's not for a group owner to tell you what you can and can't say to somebody. If you're pissing off people because you are spamming them, then they need to deal with you directly and say, stop spamming me because you're pissing me off, or block them or ignore them or do something. But dobbing on them really doesn't achieve anything. And personally, if I got involved in every one of those little fights that was as a group owner between people who have differences of opinion or differences of perspective, I actually agree that just pitching people when you first meet them and sending people a message on a private message saying, hi, I see we're in the same group now by myself, that's pretty poor form, and that would piss me off too. But I wouldn't go and tell mum. I would actually come and say to you, please don't do that, or I would block you. So it's sort of what I'm getting across, and I'm sure you understand what I'm getting across, is that you are if you're the group owner, you are the one that is managing the tribe of your group. I'm just having a look at some questions here or some comments here, and I'm getting a little bit distracted. So we'll just move back here and we'll go. Okay, so Bro, Stephen is saying member of groups. Joe is saying public, closed and secret. Yes, there's three types of group, public group, closed group and a secret group. And public group is Joe's saying public and closed groups are like family. You can't really choose the members. I actually really like that analogy. I think that's brilliant. One of the things that that you can do as an admin, you can actually choose the members of public and closed groups, because you can approve them. But if you have it set to public or even closed, then you can have any member can approve any other members, then it's like anyone's coming in. I like to have a little bit more control about over that. But my whole rant today was more around, rather than the structure of groups, was more around what you can do as a member of a group and what you can do as an admin or owner of a group to make sure that that the families or the kiddies in your group are getting along and obeying the rules, and when to actually put the foot down and when to back off. So when you put the foot down, I think that's around where you put the foot down is where you are creating your group and you've got the group guidelines. So what I do I'm sole admin owner of social media for small biz owners, and I don't let anybody post in that group without prior approval. Interestingly enough, like I have to approve all posts. So I'll go in, I'm in the groups reasonably often, maybe twice a week, 3 times a week, but I don't approve the posts. I'll flick through them, but most of the posts are just by my staff, go to this link, join this other group. And the group description clearly says it's a support group for people who are small business owners on Facebook, and it's an open forum where they can ask questions, they can make connections, create networks, and ultimately get themselves known. Now, I don't run that group very well. I do it by myself, and so what I do is I have I live streaming in there on Fridays, except for today because I've had to stop it and I haven't shared it into the group yet, so I'll share it back into the group afterwards. But I don't have a lot of interaction. We have what we call Super Saturdays, where people participate by dropping their link to their pages in the comments thread under the post that says Super Saturday, and we collaborate and we like, comment and share on each other's pages to help get some engagement where we might not otherwise without paid help, without doing paid awareness campaigns. So we're actually doing a collaborative approach in the group to do that. So they're the main things that I do. People are welcome to ask questions about their Facebook, woes, about different things that happen on Facebook for them, different ways that they can do things, and I will answer the questions absolutely where I can. If I don't know answers, I will go and find the answers. It's great learning for me too, because I learn what people want to know, which helps me helps me serve you better as small business owners on Facebook. But what happens is most people just come in, and I've written a blog called Are You a Seagull or a Dove? And it's actually in the notes section on my business page here. And so it would be somewhere down in the notes. Just look in the tabs menu and have a look in the notes section. It's called Are You a Seagull or a Dove? Most people that go into that group are a bit seagully, demonstrate seagull behaviour, and I believe that's because it's education. So when I started running this group, and people would put those posts in, and I had it open, so I didn't approve posts, and it was just ended up to be a really, really spammy group. So I closed it down, and now I have to approve posts. So out of every probably 30 posts, I might get one post that I will let through and go, here's a question about social media or about networking or about something that's not promotional, that's not seagully, that's not advertising your business. It's about connecting. It's about genuine curiosity and wanting to learn and having a genuine problem that you think the group might be able to help you with. So about 1 in 30. Now that's a pretty poor odds, and I thought, oh, well, I'll take it upon myself to be educational and try and educate people. Some people are just to, I don't know whether they're uneducatable or, but I'm on a bit of a rant at the moment. Some people pick it up and get it really quickly. Other people just come across as just like so desperate that they just keep spamming or being seagulls, flying in, crapping everywhere and flying out again. And I have actually blocked a couple of people. So what I would do is send them a message and say, you're welcome to advertise, promote yourself and your business in this group. You must do it on Super Saturday, and then you help other people, because what that does is it brings people to your page. You get to know other people in the group through visiting their pages. And, you know, I've actually made some amazing friendships and met some fantastic people just through participating in the Super Saturday program. So taking an educational approach, it is very, very time consuming. And the second I get a VA, are we actually using them for doing something like that, is to actually keeps the communication up, because I think there's a massive job ahead of us in educating people on the right way to use Facebook for small business, and showing out, pointing out the wrong way to use Facebook for small business. Now, I'm not saying name and shame at all. Sometimes some people do, but I'm just suggesting that gentle nudges in the right direction help. So I don't know if you have those problems with your group, Joe or Stephen, bro, if you're as a member of groups, I'm sure you wouldn't spam, but if you do, stop it. No, I'm sure you wouldn't, because you know better. But so that's one of the things that I think is a group admin or group owner. It is our job to really to educate people around what's appropriate and what's not. I remember I'm actually admin and owner of another group called Women in Business Adelaide, and a co-owner. No, Joe's saying no. You don't have that problem. No, your people are good. Oh my God, that's funny. I'm seeing the no come up here, but I'm not seeing it on my live broadcast preview. So is that actually, can you give me some feedback? Can you see that come up? I've just popped your comment on the page, but I can't see whether it's actually come up or not. It just looks like, it just says Joe Lockery and the picture of Uncle Fester, and then it's got no. But on the live broadcast preview, it's where the no is. It's just a blank screen. So just let me know if that's come up. Ah, yes, there we go. Yes. Well, good, sweet. All right, that's fantastic. Cool. All right. So, okay, thanks for that feedback. Now, where was I? Okay, what I want to do is suggest that if you're a member of groups, then what you can do is read the group guidelines every time you join a group and every time you go into a group, because what happens is I find that some people, when I remind them that they're displaying seagull-like behaviour, they'll go, oh, oops, sorry, I just work in so many groups, I didn't have time I didn't really stop and look at the description. What I do as a member of groups, I take personal responsibility most times to look at the group description, post according to the hashtags, if that group has got hashtags, and really be respectful of the time and effort that people put into setting up a group and managing and organising a group, because people don't just sort of wake up one day and go, oh, look, I'll start a group. Maybe some people do, but I can't imagine that you would do it without a purpose. So if you're posting in accordance with the purpose and the guidelines and the rules of the group, then you're actually going to be a very valuable group member, and people actually recognise you for being a valuable group member, which means that also if you are in a group, even if you don't own a group, uh, find ways, creative ways that you can comment, that you can contribute, that you can become a thought leader in groups, because it will also give you an opportunity to give yourself a higher profile, more exposure, and then people start to see you as the go-to person for whatever it is that you're commenting on. And so if you're in groups that are of interest to your avatar, then you're actually going to be noticed, and people will be drawn to you and attracted to you. So if you're running a business on Facebook and you're in groups, it actually is your responsibility to make sure that you're contributing into groups. And what I'm finding as a group admin, an owner, if you make the guidelines really, really clear and enforce them, it might seem a little bit Nazi-like at the beginning, and I'm feeling a bit Nazi-like. We've got a group called Adelaide Suburbs Small Business Networking Group, and the acronym, the unfortunate acronym of ASPAG, but I love it because you never forget it. You go, what's that group again? Oh, ASPAG. And it's so rather than, we didn't actually name the group's owner, a guy called Henry Lawson, his real name's Steve, but he runs Henry's Professional Services, where he does waitering and butlering and that type of thing. He just didn't even think about the acronym when he set the group up, but we kind of like it, and we just think it sort of suits the casual, like we're all small business owners, but we do have a bit more casual approach. And as my friend Steph Rigby says, a less stick up backside approach to small businesses. We have a bit of fun. We do say, shit on, like in different words, and bloody, and anyway, it's not bragging about being how bogan we are. What we are saying is that we are relaxed, and we be our authentic selves when we are in the group. Now, I'm a co-admin on that group with Theone Rusianos and also Henry or Steve, and we are quite particular about that group. So what we do is we let people post, but if they don't use a hashtag or post according to the theme, the daily theme, we do give them a gentle reminder, and we do it in public. So we just ask them to read the guidelines, which is in the pinned post, and use the hashtags accordingly. It puts a bit of structure around the group, because if you don't have that structure, what that ends up looking like is just a bunch of business people just throwing the links to their pages in a group, and it actually doesn't encourage discussion. It doesn't encourage networking or connection at all. So we are a bit anal about getting that interaction going. So if you're a group member, be a good group member and read the guidelines, contribute, do all the things that you can to get yourself as much exposure as possible in the group as a thought leader. And it means that you need to be in the group. So if you pick maybe 2 or 3 groups that you want to work into where your avatar is, and if you haven't done your avatar, do it now. I actually think I'm going to do a one on creating your avatar, do a blog on that, because I think that's something that just nobody does. I ran a workshop on the weekend, and there was probably nearly 20 people in the room, and there were 2 people who'd actually even done work on their avatar, and one of them was working in my Facebook Codebreakers group. So they would have wanted to done their avatar, because that's a place where we do go to break the Facebook code. So if you are in groups, if you're a member, just remember to actually comment, get yourself a bit of exposure in the group, so you can be seen as a thought leader. And when people get to know you, they like you, they trust you, and when they have an issue or a problem that matches up with the service that you deliver, who are they going to think of when they come to looking for somebody that's going to help them? You. But if you're not there, they're not going to be able to know who you are. So you're doing yourself a disservice. If you fly in and out and do seagull things like just spamming your links everywhere, you just piss the group owners off, and then the group members aren't even going to know, because it just slides past because they're all busy doing the same thing. So you can actually put yourself a head and shoulders above the rest purely by being a good group member. If you're a group owner, try and be in the group as often as you can, preferably daily. Now, I say that when I am part of several groups, it sort of does stretch myself. I find that I get stretched a little bit thin, and especially when I'm doing other stuff as well, but I make the commitment to popping in there. I co-admin. If you find that it is a little bit difficult, find someone else that is part of the group, or someone that you know that you can trust, that you would like to be maybe a co-admin with you, that can share the load. So we do the Women in Business Adelaide group, and in the Adelaide Suburb Small Business Networking group, we have 3 admins for both groups, and we share it. So we rotate on a weekly basis, and for the week that we are admin responsible for that group, that's where we give it our focus. We make sure we go in every day, we monitor the posts, we interact. It doesn't mean that other group members, other admins can't go in. In fact, they do. But it just means that there's one person responsible to make sure that the group is run smoothly for that week, and it's not one person all the time. So it's once every 3 weeks that we have to do that for the week. So that we find works really, really well. As we close out, I've done in my blog, I just want to, I'll share it with you. Let's see. Still got a little bit more to work, but it's published. It's like, what do we say? It's not perfect, but it's there. I can't even see if that's come up. Has that come up? Oh, there we go. It's socialmediawithadare.com. Go to the blog. It says Facebook groups, get more out of groups. So if you can just go to the blog, socialmediawithadare.com, click on blog, and then you'll see a series of things that I've written. And this one's the latest one. It's called Facebook group, cast of thousands or starring none. So there you've got, I've actually had a little bit more of a rant there. I've got what a well-run group looks like, and I've got what a ugly or a feral group looks like. So a feral group, I suggest the features of them is they're usually public or closed. Anyone can approve anyone. Posted straight into the group without being screened. There's a whole heap. Many of the posts are spammy posts. It looks and it feels messy. There's disrespectful group members. Nobody follows the rules. There's usually only one or two at the most admins, and they're quite often absent. The few group members don't usually report fellow group members for spamming because they're all doing the same thing. There's usually either no lines about, in the description of the group or the purpose of the group, or if there's only 1 or 2 lines. There's some groups may not have an admin at all. I picked up Women in Business Adelaide because it didn't have admin at all, and there were a couple of hundred people waiting to be approved, and there was also males in the group, and it was very messy. So I spent probably the last 12 months cleaning that up, and we've gone from 150 members to nearly 700 members in the last 12 months. But we've done a fair bit of work cleaning it up and getting it active again. There are no active events. The group has either had thousands of members or under 100. So you've either got many because other group members can approve group members, or you've only got, just a few. Usually I find that the spammiest feral groups have over 1,000 members in them. There's no pinned post, or if there's a pinned post there, it's more than 6 months old. Group members usually write on top of their post, delete if not allowed, or someone said once, delete if allowed, ALOUD. And I thought it was rather noisy, so I deleted it. That was in someone who just spammed in my group, so I did delete. But I think that just shows a lack of respect and a lack of understanding, a lack of education around how to be a good member in groups. So what does a good or well-run group look like? It could be public, but it's usually closed or secret. All group members need to be approved by admin. All the posts except the posts within the comments thread are usually approved by admin. Inappropriate posts are usually fairly quickly deleted because they're monitored. If the group has open posting and you can just post without having your post approved, you will find that in a well-run group, the guidelines are really clear. They usually have daily themes, and they're intended to guide the group discussion. And people usually post according to the guidelines. And I say usually because you do still get some spammy posts in there, but that's been my experience. But mostly people do. The themes are set out in the group description. The cover picture also has the group themes, so that daily theme, so you can see them at a glance. There's more information about the group under the cover picture, so if you click on the cover picture, you'll be able to see it. There's a link to further resources in a website that is in the cover picture description, so you might want to be able to sign up for a newsletter or sign up for an email, whatever or even their freebie, the group freebie. So you can click on the cover picture, you'll be able to get some more resources. Your posts that are in the group are relevant to the current theme, the daily theme of the group. Group members are welcome, and they're usually welcomed and tagged. They're given clear instructions about how to interact and where the resources are to get the most out of groups. There's lots of relevant, appropriate, up-to-date resources in the group. There's photos, files, videos, all sorts of documents. There may be active events that are updated regularly, so events are running and the admin and other members are using the events feature. Members are posting according to the theme, and discussion is very active. Members are asking questions that is relevant to the group and adding value. They're actively engaged in the group. You're running polls. Admin are checking in regularly, at least daily, welcoming people to the group, responding to questions and comments. Group owners are also regularly adding updated resources, like I said before, files, videos, photos, that encourage group members to return again and again and again. Running live videos into groups. The group is growing daily with older members welcoming newer members and making them feel comfortable and getting to know them. The pinned post is less than a month old, and the group has its name in the URL. So there's a bit of a snapshot of the good, the bad, and the ugly of Facebook groups. So that is in my blog if you wanted to go and read it. There's some other things there as well in the blog that's come out this week. And you've also got an opportunity to grab a copy of my ebook, which is Breaking the Facebook Code, 10 Steps to Getting Customers. You'll find that on the blog as well. So hop on over there and grab your copy, and I will see you. We've run 5 minutes over time after a shaky start this morning, but I will see you next Friday for Friday Facebook Fix, and I might talk a little bit more about groups because I've got so much information to share about the sorts of things. I've actually written another blog which I'll publish next week about 10 ways you can use Facebook groups for your business. So all things being equal, I will be here again next Friday at 10 a.m. Australian Central Standard Time, and we'll be talking about groups again. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for commenting, Joe and Bro. Joe and Bro, that sounds pretty cool. Stephen and Joe. Joe's from Rebel Web Solutions, and I love seeing you jump on here and be part of this. And one day we're going to get you on the screen to have a chat with you. Okay, what do you reckon? Yay, that would be cool. And Bro, more than happy to as well with you if you want to, because if you have any questions about Facebook, just jump on and ask, because it's live Q&A and that's what I'm here for. So I can talk at you for half an hour, or I could get you could get involved and we could have a conversation about what's bugging you about Facebook. I'll see you next Friday. It's Adair Palmer. Have a great weekend. Bye for now.